So here we have the water level. You see on the inside there, it's full of water. And at the bottom of it's a little wet just from being filled up, but it's actually not leaking. Not the prettiest connection, but it works. And this time non-toxic. So that is good. Safe drinking water. Now these are small. On the preliminary tests I've ran on how much water can go through them, so these are fairly small. On the preliminary tests I've done, it seems about maybe a gallon in an hour maximum. And after each fill, you want to let it sit for at least an hour. So if you had someone manning this like all day long, you're going to get a few gallons out of it. So you can be drinking water for several people. But if you want any clean water for bathing and washing, you're definitely going to need a bigger one if you have more people, or if you're just a small family, this one might do. P-Rocks. I'm just going to go over this again. So these 5-gallon buckets, I go to a place, these gravel yards, or I don't know what, landscaping companies that where they just sell, they have these huge piles of dirt, rocks, sand, whatever. There's a bunch of different kinds. You can go there and just for $1 a bucket get a bucket of sand, and that's how I got the sand that I washed out, and that's how I got a bucket of this sand, of these P-Rocks, which that one bucket's going to last me several filters because you only need it for the bottom small section. Maybe if I someday build a bigger filter, I might need a little bit more, but for these, I'm on my 3rd one, I still have over half a bucket left. Anyways, to the diffuser plate, I used that because it's got these little holes in it. I bought this, this was with all the PVC stuff, and it had a little lip on it that I just cut off so it would fit inside the, tube here for the diffuser plate, and I'm going to tie a string to it so I can lift it out and so it's not stuck in there. But I use that to just filter the rocks and get the smaller ones out, and then have some of the larger ones. So we're going to start putting the larger rocks in first, 2 inches at the bottom of the tube, and then 2 inches of smaller rocks, and then 22 inches of washed sand. Alright, to measure, oh, this is fun. Alright, to measure 2 inches at the bottom of the tube, what I did was, with my tape measure, I put it down, and 42 inches is the size of this pipe here. So I'm going to fill it up until this bottoms out at 40 inches. So I'm just going to keep putting the larger of my filtered rocks in there. Keep putting the larger of the filtered rocks until we get down to 40. We're at about 41. Just a tad over. I'm not going to be that picky about that. So now we need the smaller rocks. So since we're just a tad over 40, since we're a tad over 40, we want to still go a tad over 42, so we have enough smaller rocks. Alright, so now we've got it to 38. So we're good there. So we've got it 38 inches down at the top of the rocks. So now I'll put some water into it, about halfway full, and I'll start dumping the sand. Put the water in just so that the heavier sand will fall to the bottom, and the lighter sand will be at the top to help with the filtration. Alright. Okay, so now with we got 42-inch pipe at the bottom, 2 inches, so up to 40 with larger rocks, and then up to 38 with the smaller rocks. So 22 inches of sand. That means 22 from 38 would be 16. So 16 inches from the top, we're going to mark the top of our sand layer. That way we can go up 2 inches from that and make another mark, and that's where the top of the water level should be. And that's where this tube, when I have the 90-degree connector, the 90-degree connector will be at that line, so the water level will stay at that line. That will allow, the 2 inches allows the biofilm to still get oxygen through from the air through the water, and so that it won't die off. Alright, so now we start putting sand in. I put water, just a little bit of water in there, so that it'll help some of the smaller flakes of sand stay in the top, and the larger ones will go to the bottom quicker. I'm not sure what that does exactly, but here we go. Alright, we've got the sand in there, coming up to 16 inches from the top. So the 42-inch pipe, we've got 2 inches of rock, 2 inches of smaller rock, 22 inches of sand. And then that brings us 16 inches from the top. We'll draw a line, that's our sand level, probably right here. So 2 inches above that, we'll draw another line, that's the water level where our elbow will be. 2 inches, or 1 inch above that is where I'll put the diffuser plate, and that's just to slow down water flow when we're filling it up with dirty water to be filtered, so it doesn't disturb the biofilm layer. Alright, let's get going. Alright, so I measured my points. I put 3 dots and just connected them. As you can see, I can't draw a straight line to save my life, but it's close enough. So this is the bottom, this is the top of the sand level. This is where we want the top of the water layer to be, and this is where we'll put the diffuser plate. It doesn't have to be exact, just close enough. Alright, so let's go ahead. We'll put the 90-degree tube in, or angle, and then the other tube for the output. So here we have the 90-degree angle in there, another tube, output tube coming around, going around this way into our little container here. So if we were to pour in here, we've got our diffuser plate, which will preserve our biofilter, and then we can just have another container. Obviously you wouldn't want to use the same one you poured the dirty water in to catch it, but this is just an example. Should help keep the water level at the right area. And you wouldn't want to drink this water as is here. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for the biofilm layer to grow. And that's what eats up the bacteria in the water to clean it out. So if you were to drink this water here, you'd want to disinfect it first. There's different ways of doing that, but I'm not going to get into that here. But the only thing I need is a cap. On previous ones, I used just a normal cap, but obviously this one won't fit, so I'll have to figure something else out. But we're done here. That is my filter. If you have any questions, please feel free to PM me or whatever. Thanks, and thanks for watching. Have a great one. Bye.